uno. All right, Marty, talk to me. Talk to me. So you're doing life coach, right?
Yes.
That's something that you do on the side, correct?
Yeah, so I'm doing life coaching. I'm transitioning over to life coaching, correct?
Okay. And that is a side thing from your regular job, your 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5
Right.
is something completely different.
Completely
day-to-day.
different. Yes, completely different.
And why are you doing life coach? What made you want to go into something that is something dealing with people, or why life coach?
Yeah, so different, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was introduced to the life coaching last year, right before the whole pandemic hit. And I was at a point in my life where I thought I needed something a little bit more with substance and a little bit more where I can get to know myself a little bit better.
Okay.
And so getting that life coaching just helped me evolve into a different person with more confidence, because I was lacking a lot of it, and
Okay.
I had a lot of insecurities. And so I feel like had I had that at an earlier stage in my life, I'd be a completely different person earlier on, right?
Oh, I see.
But it happened when it had to happen. And so I just feel like I want to do that now so I can help other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So life coaching means, in a sense, helping others, maybe deal with some sort of issues or some sort of what? Because therapy is a different thing, right? So how do you define life coaching in the sense of doing something for others?
Yeah, completely different. So when we talk about life coaching, a life coach like me, what I would help you do is get really clear on what you want and helping you get there.
Okay.
So clarifying what your vision or your dream might be and supporting you through that process.
Okay.
And so my company, my life coaching business, is Vision Track. So having a vision and getting you on track. That's basically where it comes from.
Oh, okay. Got it. That's simple enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I reached out to you so that you could help me with this setup, right? In life coaching, I saw you make a couple posts where you are writing some notes to yourself, in a sense, like giving yourself like that love in a way of like you to you, right? Why is that important? Why is the relationship that you have with yourself so important in life coaching or in just regular life?
Yeah, just in general, the relationship we have with ourselves is super important, because that's who you are, right? If you take care of yourself, if you love yourself, if you appreciate yourself, you're going to show up as a good person. You're going to show up as a person that people want to be around. You're going to show up as someone who you like. And so that's really important for anyone, really. I think we are, or I guess sometimes we forget that we're important too.
Oh, okay.
And so the idea of writing yourself a love letter kind of came to me during Christmas, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So I figured we spend all this time, maybe buying these cards and writing them out and showing everyone else love and support.
Appreciation.
Yeah. And we appreciate everyone. But what about you? Like, what about me?
Right. Yeah.
So I just figured, you know what? I'm going to write myself a love letter. And that's part of the process that you go through in the coaching as well.
Okay.
So it's really important to love yourself, to appreciate yourself, to know what your strengths are, to get rid of like any limiting beliefs that you might have. And so writing stuff down really helps with that.
Okay.
And so on top of the fact that you need to appreciate yourself,
of course.
then when you write it down, it's also
like cements it, right? Like builds it into your system.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
why a love letter? Because I mean, we're about to do this show right before Valentine's Day, so Valentine's Day is a very important, not important, how do I say this? Very advertised holiday, commercialized holiday for love, right? In relationships and stuff like that. So, but you're writing a letter to yourself. So meaning like, all right, it's a cool holiday and all, but like, hey, what about you? Take care of yourself. So is this love letter because of people or for people that are single? Or is this a love letter just in general? Like what is it that you're trying to like reach in this sense?
Yeah, so just in general, but for me, because of my own situation, so I am single and I've been single for a really long time, and I'm completely fine with it.
Mm.
I embrace it.
Okay.
And I know that there's a lot of people that kind of dread Valentine's coming.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of people that don't like Valentine's
Right.
Day.
They don't like it.
Yeah, they don't like it at all.
Because they feel lonely, because they see all these, lovebirds, and, their friends are in relationships and their friends are married and they might still be single. But
Right.
I feel like it's so important that if you love yourself, that's not going to phase you.
Okay.
Right? Those things are going to be like, oh, just another day.
Really? Okay.
So with the concept of writing yourself this love letter, it's like, okay, you don't need someone else to write you that love letter. You can do it for yourself.
Oh.
You can show yourself that love.
Okay.
And like I said, because I'm single, I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to write myself a love letter because there's a lot of things to love.
Right.
And so when you're confident in that and you know that there's things to appreciate, it's easy to start writing things about what you love.
But what if it's not easy? What if it's something where you don't like being alone? You don't like being single, There's a lot of people out there that can't be alone, they need someone in their lives to feel fulfilled. So what about that aspect? How do you get past that?
I think that's something that they need to look for within themselves. And
Okay.
I think that's a lot of where the life coaching might come in, or having
nice.
someone to talk to. Like you're saying, people need someone to talk to. People need someone in their life. And
Right.
I think that's where, having someone to talk to, having that person to support you through that journey. And a lot of people need kind of like some reinforcement sometimes
Okay.
too. Like, it's okay for you to be alone. Right? It's okay to not have a partner. It's okay to not be in a relationship. So I feel that when you have that person supporting you and
In life coaching, you were saying.
well, in life coaching, and I think in general, if you have friends that
Okay.
support you in that aspect,
Got
or
it.
family, or something like that, then I think it's
You can call on them for support. Is what you mean.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm here for too. So
Got it.
like, the life coaching is so important because we get you to a place where you're going to step out of that. Like, if you don't want to be in that position, obviously,
Mhm.
right? If you want to feel okay on your own, then obviously that's going to help you, and we're going to work on that with you.
Okay.
But you have to want it.
I see. I
Right.
see. Yeah. So, okay. So in a step, or on one of the steps, you suggest writing that love letter to you to reinforce that appreciation for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, how do you see this whole love in Corona? Because Corona has affected a lot of relationships, right? And it has affected a lot of people's ability to go out and date and to meet new people, obviously, because everything's closed. And so in the digital world, maybe it's a lot easier to meet people on a digital screen, but yet the outside and the meeting and the going out and all that stuff is still not accessible to everybody. So how does one deal with relationships in Corona nowadays? It's because that's a difficult topic.
That is a very difficult topic, and I'm going to be super honest. I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I'm not interested.
Oh shit. Okay.
In dating. I'm not interested in a relationship. So I'm not that person online. I'm not
Wow.
that person, trying to seek out love or trying to seek out a partner.
Okay.
And because I know that it's very difficult to meet someone online. I mean, in person, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Imagine doing it online, right?
Right. So you eliminated in-person contact. So now we have only online left,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, and that's so difficult. And so what I suggest, or what I recommend to people, is take this time that you're not dating or that you're not finding someone. If
Right.
you are out there, take this time for you.
Wow.
Take
Okay.
this time to write this love letter to you. Figure out what you want.
Right.
That way, when someone comes along, then you'll know exactly what you're going to accept from that person.
Oh wow.
Because I feel like someone who loves themselves is going to be a little bit easier to love.
All right.
They're going to know what they want. They're going to know what they're looking for. And so being that's the situation, when they do find someone, it might be a little bit less work to put into that relationship.
Yeah. Be work on you so that when they come along, you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to start something.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
That makes sense. Ahora, does life coaching also work on finances or your future goals, or just on personal stuff like care about yourself more, or take care of your body? What is it the aspect of that? What does that cover?
Yeah, so coaching is so broad.
Okay.
Coaching is there's such a huge spectrum, because you can do, like you said, finances. So there's financial coaches, there's executive coaches, there's business coaches, there's life coach like me.
Okay.
So there are so many
avenues or
ways to coach people.
Got it.
So it just depends on what you're looking for.
Okay.
So what I focus on is helping with, if someone feels like they lack confidence, finding their confidence or accessing
so you have
their
a
confidence.
niche. You have a niche that you work with on
Yeah.
specific things. Okay, so what are the specific things that you want to develop in other people?
Yeah, so the specific things are their confidence, number one.
Confidence.
Knowing your true potential.
Okay.
Putting aside any limiting beliefs that keep you from going for your dreams.
Okay.
For planning for the future, for getting outside of your little comfort zone that sometimes we get too comfortable in, and that keeps us from doing a lot of stuff that we really want to
Fear can hinder every move that you make.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then loving yourself, obviously. Loving yourself, being happy with yourself, those are huge things for me.
Right.
Because when that happened for me, it was just a liberating feeling.
Okay.
Knowing that that's available to us, and that there's so much like love and happiness, and it's all from like within us.
How do you get to that point? Because I mean, that's really good when you say it.
Yeah.
But I mean, in like the middle of the night that you're lonely and you're getting older, or the pressures of society, especially when like in the Mexican culture, you're like, oh, you have to have kids and you have to be married and you have to have all these socially acceptable things, and then you're not. So how do you deal with that? Because that's going to come and haunt you as you get older. And I'm talking about my culture, obviously. You're in the culture that we are in, very traditional Mexicans. So, so how do you fight against all that? How do you deal? Maybe not fight, but how do you accept it? Because that becomes very difficult.
Yeah, I think it's all a mindset.
Right,
really.
definitely.
I mean,
mindset.
it's definitely a mindset, and that's what we work on.
Okay.
That's what we work on putting aside all those things that we grew up with, all those expectations that our family and our culture and our tradition has for us.
Right.
Because here I am, a grown ass woman,
right?
No kids, no boyfriend, no husband, and I come from a background just like yours,
right?
Where why aren't you married yet?
Yeah.
Why don't you have kids? And
definitely,
I feel like I wasn't put on this earth to have kids.
Okay.
Right. And just now is when I'm finding my purpose.
I see.
Right. So I'm at a point where I'm going to help other people live out their dream or live out their vision. So it's really important to have that mindset of like, there's other things than what your family wants you to do.
Right. No, I mean,
there's
tons.
There's
you can live a life, traveling the world and, never settle down. Of course, but then give me like the step one, because you still got to tell your grandma and your mom, okay, that's gay. It might not happen, because you have to deal with that stuff. So how accepting it probably is my question. Like, how do you get to the first base? ¿Sabes qué? No hay pedo. O sea, cálmate, güey. No te vas a morir solo. Or maybe you are, pero, o sea, cálmate, Because it's going to hit you. It dawns you like in the middle of the night, You wake up and you're like, chetos, voy a morir solo la chingada, ¿qué pedo? So what's step one? Because you change your mindset sounds cool, but like how? Because that's probably the biggest factor. How do you start?
Yeah, I think you have to accept where you are.
Okay.
So you have to accept that, okay, I don't want to die alone.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like you're saying.
I might get a dog.
Hey, I have 2 dogs. Okay, go.
Yeah.
I have that down already.
Yeah, it's already covered.
Yeah. So you have to accept where you are, and you have to know exactly what you want.
Okay.
Right? If you don't want to die alone, then you have to take those steps to maybe even like start working on yourself. If you don't have a partner right now, what's keeping you from getting that partner? What's keeping you from finding that person? Right? So again, it comes back to you.
I see.
Right?
I see. Okay, so it's all you regardless.
It's all you regardless.
And on what you want, what you really want out of your relationships out of your life. So once we get together, we talk, and you're like coaching me. But Sasuke, what do you want? Boom. We figure it out and we go after that.
Yes.
But it starts with you regardless.
It starts with you all the time, because you can't control. You are not going to be able to control the outside world. You are not going to be able to control what people think of you, or what your family thinks of you, because you're such a, you're older and you don't have kids. And those are things that kind of pressure people into just going out and find anybody, right?
Like I said, chinga su madre, whatever, this one,
right?
That one.
Yeah, but you have to be so confident with yourself and know exactly what you want, that you're not going to settle for anything like that. Okay, you're going to work for what you want. You're going to go out and you're going to figure out, okay, why am I not finding a partner? Do I really want one? What are the things that I can offer someone else, or what am I looking for in another person? And that's more, I guess, like a relationship coach also. Right. But those are things that we want in life, right? If you have a vision for that, then go for it. But work on yourself first. That is key. That is, sometimes it sounds a little cliche when people say, happiness comes from within, and it all starts with yourself, and love yourself.
Does. Like the post on Instagram, and then you believe that for a second, and then you carry on. Yeah. It
but
sounds cliche.
When you are in that position, when you actually feel that happiness and you don't rely on anyone else to provide it for you, I'm telling you, this feeling that you get is liberating. Okay. It's absolutely liberating, and there's a point where I can't even explain it anymore.
I see.
Because you go through your life doing what you want. You do things for yourself. You don't depend on anyone. Yes, you have friends. Yes, you have your family. But I think the bulk of it comes from you, everything that you will do, or that you have done, or that you plan to do. Okay.
I get it. That's cool. Okay. So if it starts with us, and the love letters is a great idea. Start with the love letter to yourself, or start with affirmations, about yourself. Maybe not a love letter, because it might sound like, dudes are just writing there and sitting down, hey, I love me because of me. It becomes really weird sometimes for some people, right?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, like, guys not being like, what the hell? I'm not writing myself a love letter. But they write love letters to their partners.
They might do. Yeah. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, we could probably start with like some affirmation, like, for you, and just hustle hard, or do this, you could achieve that, small affirmations about yourself, so that you can get there. So we start with ourselves in that sense. Yes. And then just knowing what you want out of life, and out of a partner is the next level. And then through maybe your help, they could also, maybe you hold them accountable. Is that something that life coaching does as well? Because the biggest thing for me is, like, I can want so many different things, but being accountable and like disciplined to achieve that's where, like, okay, 3 días I'm on fire, and then like the 4th, the 5th, I'm gonna get lazy, and then like working out, like, it's cold outside, it's rainy outside, and then you make excuses, and then you don't follow through for what I want a 6-pack, but I also want tacos, so that becomes that very difficult situation of discipline. Is that something that you guys help with also?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a huge accountability factor with life coaching. And so what you're working on with your coach is, first of all, your plan, right? And how are you given the strengths and the capabilities and everything that you want to do with that plan? How does that all, fit in, right? And then there's always going to be, in every single one of those sessions, an accountability piece. Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, so how are you going to achieve this? Got it. By when? Will you do a certain thing to get you closer to where you want to be? Oh, okay. And so with your life coach, they're going to hold you accountable. Like,
they will. That's part of the plan.
Jose, why didn't you come today with your 6-pack?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
What held you back?
I left it at home. I'll bring it tomorrow.
Yeah. What held you back? Right. Why didn't you put in that workout? Was there something holding you back? Like, was there a reason? Yeah. Was, whether it's mental, whether it's,
I have no excuses. I'm just
anything.
Lazy. Yeah. I'm so lazy on that sense. Yeah.
And so the coach would be like, so if you really gave that answer, a coach would be like, you're not lazy.
You're fucking
there's something else there
holding you back.
Yes, absolutely.
I have mom issues.
There's
probably.
something
when I was
deeper.
Little. Yeah. I go into therapy. I go like, so I was gay when I was 5. Okay.
So something I want to point out, because you're saying that about the past, is that life coaching really focuses on the future.
Oh,
right? We try,
shit.
there's very few instances where you have to bring up things that have happened to you in your past. Like with the life coach,
Okay.
I feel like we are focusing on, like I said earlier,
The future.
a vision that you have for yourself, and how are you going to get there given your current circumstances.
So it's more like structuring yourself to achieve a goal. You know,
Yes.
a more logical approach on achieving this goal. Obviously, dealing with life and you know all the good things, bad things about life as it goes. But
Right.
you guys kind of structure in a sense. This is the goal. This is how we're going to achieve it, and this is how we're going to hold you accountable.
Right.
It's not necessarily like, you know, like all the baggage that you have, because you want to achieve these successes that you
Right.
wrote yourself that you wanted to achieve. Correct?
Yeah, something like that. So if you were to compare it to, just to give you a quick example, like if you went to, for example, like a sports coach or something like that, right? They're
Yeah.
going to help you to get better to win a championship or something,
Got it.
right? They're
Yep.
not going to be like, oh, you messed up in that game. Oh, you didn't make that ball. Oh,
Mhm.
you didn't make that score. Like, yes, those are things that are going to be there because they serve as lessons and
To learn
experiences.
from.
But there's an end goal. You want to win a game? This is how we're going to do it.
Right. And there's a lot of
Right?
life coaches, or athlete coaches, or I don't even know how.
Yeah, sports coaches.
Sports coaches
Mhm.
that all they do is like work with an athlete's mindset to achieve championships. They just focus their
Yeah.
careers on, like, you know, training this guy's mind to win 7 Super Bowls or 10,000
Absolutely.
billion, whatever sport it is, in money. So that's what they do. They just focus on that. And that's a
Right.
career, a built-in career in sports. I forget that there's a term for them. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, no?
Right.
Que existe esto. It's just very focused career on Tiger Woods' game or
Yeah,
whatever.
absolutely.
Mhm.
It's all mindset. And the more
Yeah.
I read about that and the more experience I get with this life coaching, it's definitely about this mindset. Like, what
Okay.
are you telling yourself, right?
Right.
What are you affirming to yourself?
Right.
So a lot of coaches, and I myself too, like, we work on making up a new story, right? Stop telling yourself that you can't do stuff. Stop telling yourself you grew up with not, a lot of opportunities or resources
Right.
and things like that. Okay, that's back there.
Yeah.
What do you have now? What can we work on now?
Right.
And these affirmations and these, loving or writing yourself these love letters, that all is a process.
Okay.
It's a combined process, because when you write stuff down, it becomes like a structure. It becomes more disciplined. It becomes a habit. And so if you're in the habit of telling yourself, I'm brave, I can go out and do whatever I want, right?
Right.
Then guess what? Your mind is going to believe it. Your
Right.
brain is wired to believe what you
You
tell
tell
it. So if you tell it you can't,
I'm going to start telling him I'm going to be a billionaire.
yes.
Yes.
Please do.
Every day as I wake up, billionaire.
Right?
Just, yeah.
And so with the coach, okay, you want to become a billionaire?
Yes, I do.
They're going to hold you accountable. Okay, what are the steps you're taking to date to be that billionaire?
Okay.
So that's right mindset.
Mental. Yeah.
Mindset.
Okay.
It's I feel like it's all a mindset, and
Wow.
that's what gets people
Like
places.
programming, basically. It's a programming that we have. So
Yeah,
working on the programming is the key to life coaching.
absolutely.
Damn. Okay. That was pretty cool. Well,
Yep.
that's it. We covered every topic. We had a conversation,
Yeah.
and thank you for coming. Thank you for, the ambulances is starting out.
Oh,
outside.
yeah,
You can
I
hear.
can
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
hear it.
There, that was the bell. That was the. Just kidding. No, Marty. Well, thank you for coming, and I appreciate the time
Yeah.
and the knowledge
You're
that you
welcome.
share with us.
And you're gonna have your love letter written by Valentines.
I'm gonna
to
write that.
yourself?
I'm gonna write it to myself,
Yeah?
and I'll be like,
Okay.
"Estoy solo, pero me quiero un chingo. Por favor, regresa." No, to myself, right? To myself.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it to myself.
yourself,
Yes.
please.